Good morning. Let me pull up the chat and stream looks healthy. Want to make sure you guys can hear me okay and that you could hear the intro okay. Um, Looks like it says two watching. I have not been advertising. I'm trying to test to see if notifications are going out or people are seeing when I'm going live. I'm going to try to start going live more often. And hi, Nancy. Can you hear me okay? Is the sound coming through 5x5? Obviously, or you wouldn't have said that you were driving. But it says one person in here, so you must be my one person. Awesome. I want to talk about the premiere I played yesterday and why, it's not listed. I'm waiting on the YouTube police to respond. Now they've given it the green light, but I just don't trust it until you get that email saying that everything is okay. They Let me see something here. They seem to like to police what we say without really even knowing the context of what things are said in, and trying to get an understanding. And the evidence that, I had to dig really hard to find the information that to present, and I actually did find it, and I was able to present it, so it is on record that it did exist. And I do remember when that information was out. I do remember the last minute warnings on it, and it's just, and then all of a sudden it's just vanished. And then, of course, a campaign about, we never went to the moon started. The flat Earth, globe Earth thing came about, and the Mandela effect. They all seem to come about at the same time. And the article I found was from January of 2014, and it talked about something that was spotted and things like that. Now, this is not a religious channel, but as with my culture, what I was brought up with, the words that I understand, the prophecies, and a lot of people today are waiting for these prophecies to, take place. But from where we came from, these things have already come to pass. And it's just a matter of remembering it and digging it up and understanding, because let's just be realistic here. Hi, Stephanie, how are you? The sky is different. The moon is different. These moon anomalies that used to, how many people remember the once in a blue moon? It would be like, oh, that'll happen once in a blue moon. We have blue moons all the time now. And blood moons were another thing that were, few and far between. But those seem to be something that are pretty frequent too. The moon smiles at us now. We have a white sun. The spelling here is, there's no rhyme or reason to the way we spell our words and things like that here. Where I was at before, there was ground rules. There was, things were set up in a way that, things made sense. There was more, it was more grounded. Where here, it seems that we are more quantum. with our gifts and the things that we're able to do and see, and the multiple areas of activation that is within so many people simultaneously. you know um, it it screams that we're in a different place. I mean, just saying the Sagittarius and then now the Orion, something happened. Something happened. And I think that when we finally get a concept of what happened, it will fill in so many blanks for us. And then the puzzle will just kind of click, 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 click in together. Now, so like I said, that one is on unlisted, and like I said, it's on Patreon now. So if you're a patron, you can see it. It is over there. But I was really shocked that they censored it, and I was like, what is going on? And I'm going to try, like I said, to go live more often to talk to you guys and see who's getting notifications, who's not. If it says I have 4,400 subscribers and I've got 4 people at a live stream, what the heck is going on here? I mean, why? Where are the people? And I got a question for you guys. Does it seem like some days when you wake up that it's just not very populated here? Like, you don't feel the energy signatures as strongly with the majority of people. And then other days, it's like you can feel that there's like more people there. I mean, like we're going back and forth to different, being quantum. I mean, being able to go into other realms of reality or timelines, and grab information and then bring it back with us. So, does anybody else have that going on with them? I mean, I know it sounds strange, but I don't know. Oh, am I buffering on you guys? Because it's showing me buffering on my screen. Hope not. Okay, now it looks like it's going through okay. Okay, so anybody else see those kind of things happening within them? I mean, I got a fantastic article on that one that that got censored, but like I said, as soon as I get the email verification from them, it will be released. It's just, but I wasn't gonna not play it, so I did go ahead with it showing as the premiere, and then I just like, okay, well then I'll just leave it unlisted until you guys figure out that there's nothing in here that's harmful. I don't know. Maybe switching over to this beta system is really mucking things up. I don't know. Hey Ravenhawk, how are you? Doesn't sound strange at all. I've had these experiences too. Yeah, it's like we're able to go over and grab this information, and if we grab it quick enough, we could pull it back with us, and then it's just a matter of seeing it, grabbing it, recording it, and bringing it back with us so we can show it. And then what you'll find is a bunch of people will go, oh my gosh, I remember that. Because it is about our memories too, the things that are going on around us. It's just like a lot of people aren't remembering it. And I also told a story about it's a very close family member of mine. And, okay, how many of you guys remember when they were building all of those, they were DUMBs, the missiles were not in these, and they dug way underground for these missiles, but they were converting them into these underground, safe houses, and these filthy rich people were making these really fancy underground homes because something was coming about, but they weren't releasing it to the public. So my thought is, okay, where would I rather be? Here with you or over there? Where, possibly the infrastructure is completely tore down and the only people that survived are people that don't even know how to clean their own toilet or fix their own food. Just think about it, because when you live that much of a pampered life, there's not much they really do for themselves. Now, if they're strong business type people, well, if most of us have left, who are they going to sell their products to? Right? I mean, yeah, new channel name. Yes. Yes, because there's a new objective here. Um, it's about I want you to be able to do everything that I can do, and I want to teach people how to find it within themselves, so they don't have to seek after or fall under teachers that will want you to continuously come back to them for the answers, because there's nothing that's going on within me that is not available for you. It's just a matter of learning how to access it and understanding it. And a lot of times people already have these things going on within them, they just don't understand what it is, and so you get confused with it and it can get kind of scary. So it's to remove the fear and let hey, been there, went through this, and sharing with you what I've learned. And again, I reiterate this all the time. It's a narrow path because you're the only one on it. And by being on the narrow path, it's it's yours, and it's going to be unique to you. So although I can give you the wisdom from the experiences that I have learned, but it's not going to be identical to yours. So when people are setting up these books or religious things or it is like a form of a religion where they put one at the top, and you're following their teachings and expecting the same results for everybody. That's not correct, because everybody is different. Hey, Fifth World. Hey, Eileen. How are you? So when we're sharing and trying to teach what we know, it will either resonate within you and you will activate it, or it'll be so similar to what is going on with you, you'll resonate with it and lose the fear and activate it within you. So that's where I'm coming from now. And I also, on the community page, I put up a little poll so I can find out from you guys what it is that you want to know, that will benefit you. And because Michelle's opinions, that's fine. You got all of my opinions, because I called it Michelle's opinions because, like I said, what works for me could be similar with what's going on within you, but I'm not going to make a judgment on your path because it's your path. But now we're moving over to, we're awake, and now let's activate. Let's become active with the gifts that are opened up within us, and let's do this. Let's do this. Now, some of the things that get confusing, my cigarette went out. Some of the things that get confusing is a lot of people think that when we go into the higher densities or the higher realms, that there's not going to be any duality or and things like that. Well, duality is part of the expansion and the learning. So if we're expecting that we're going to that we're going to go straight from 3D into heavenly, we're making mistakes there, because We always are expanding, learning, and growing. And one of the things that we begin to understand is that with each thing that comes up in our life, it may come up over and over again, but how are you responding to it? That's where the expansion and the growth is coming from. It's not going to say that, like losing my daughter. I'm sorry, that's a traumatic event. So if I'm walking in the fifth density, the fifth realm, 5D, and I lost my daughter, well, then that would like totally throw me off course when nothing stopped. The dreams and visions did not stop. The gifts and abilities did not stop. Nothing stopped. It was how I responded. Am I wanting vengeance? Am I angry? Do I want, how am I handling the loss of my daughter? It's, it's still a school. We're still here to learn, expand, and we have these abilities within us that help us to either see what's going to happen in the future and how we can handle it. Hi, Quantum. I'm sorry, I have to take a break from this. Yeah, I saw that message yesterday. Can't handle it. Everything in moderation. Yeah. Hey, you know what? The most growth that I've gotten, is when I took breaks. Because I inadvertently was around hierarchies that were in disguise and things like that. And I didn't understand why, all of this weird stuff was going on. If you're not surrounded by people that respect you as an equal or treat you as an equal, it will, you will feel it because you're vibing, you're constantly in motion, your Merkaba is spinning, you've got a lot going on within you. And so, and when you don't quite understand and you're trying to get a handle on it, sometimes, that's why meditation, go sit underneath that tree by yourself, clear your mind, and just allow yourself to ground out and flow is good for you. It's good for you. You can't be on the computer listening to other people's experiences. You need to be having your own. You need to be having your own. So I completely understand that. Big hug to all out there right now having a wonderful night. Or having a wonderful day, night, life. Yeah, it's morning for me, but that doesn't mean, all over the world we reach with the internet, goes all over the world, so it could be middle of the night, middle of the day, morning, afternoon, all of that. And Quantum will still be here, so, we always need to do what is in the best interest of getting our house in order first. We cannot help others until we've got our own house in order. And some of the things that you'll notice is like when you see like these changes and stuff, the knowledge will change based on the realm that you're in. So, and still realize that even though that we're toggling almost back and forth as being quantum, we're toggling back and forth to these different realms, there's still going to be those that will step out there and think that they've got all the answers, or and we will get to that point where some of these questions we will have the answers for. That will come assuredly, but we have to step back and be the observer. Sometimes we're so close and personally involved that we get our emotions rubbed, and to the point of being rubbed raw. And by stepping back and taking, it's almost like it's lifting yourself higher and then looking down on the situation, seeing the actor role that you're playing in the situation and all the participants in it, you can come out with a different solution. Sometimes we're so close because we're so involved that we don't see past the nose on our face. It's more about ego. And I'm going to tell you, ego's not a bad thing. It's part of, so we don't run out in the middle of the street. It's self-preservation, it's self-care, it's, all of those wonderful things that we need to have. But the ego also can cause us stumbling blocks by, not observing from a perspective where we can do it from a healthy way and get a better understanding. There are many of us that are toggling back and forth 3D, 4D, 5D, up to 60, 70. So don't think that because of this realm is quantum. We've moved from a three-dimensional fixed reality into a quantum reality where we can toggle back and forth and grab information from where it is pertinent to what we are learning at the time as an individual, or growth for everybody. Hey, Dare to Question. Let's see. Yes, Dare to Question has a channel that he's got up and going, and he's doing live streams and too. Yeah, you noticed it too. That's great. See, and that's a huge understanding that we are toggling back and forth to these different densities and pulling that information. Just for an example, we can look at the Mandela effect, where people are having the memories. Sometimes people will have dual memories, and I don't even think they would tell us if they were having 4 or 5 different memories, because we never really have 4 or 5 different examples. It's either one way or the other with the Mandela effect. But what if I was to tell you there was the possibility that there's actually, 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different ways that this could have changed, but we're able to toggle over, through our consciousness and see and remember how it was for us when we were all in 3D, and then how it's changed for us now that we're in 5D, and do those comparisons and understand it. I mean, that one was huge. And like I said, that video that YouTube is censoring, I snagged some information that is very interesting, with the date stamps and everything that were on the article that was shared on, what could have possibly happened and where we would rather be. Where would you rather be? Would you rather be here with everybody else that's going through this amazing transformation? Or would you rather be over there where that possibly happened, and then all of the elite went underground or whatever they did, and that's all that's left in the world? Or, certain areas that managed to make it through, that is what is left. I think about that, the Georgia Guidestones and these things that used to come up, and that we just don't even talk about these things anymore. Thank you, and be sure to contribute to Awaken. Aw, thank you. And auto subbed. Awesome. Yeah, he's getting up and going and doing lives and taking calls and all of that. But I'm going to be coming on live. Hopefully we'll be having Eileen come back on pretty soon, as she's been taking some courses, and so she could share what she's got, because it is about sharing what we know so we can all listen and grow, and we can take the wisdom that is offered, or we can go through the experience. We always have our sovereignty and our choice. It's always our choice. It is. So, with that said, realize that you are your own hero. You are your own stumbling block. You are your participant. You are the one that is the observer. You're the actor. You're all of it, all of it. So with that, you gauge on how much you'll expand. You'll gauge on how much you grow. You'll gauge on how many gifts you activate within you. So just food for thought, It's just amazing. Anytime, soul sister. Oh yeah, I would have snagged you today, but I thought I don't know what your work schedule is. I'll get with you. I emailed you, so I mean we're constantly in email communication. Fifth world. I've learned that the Georgia Guidestones were from the future, and we came back to the past so that we would bring more people with us awakened. The NPCs, if you will. And when I think about NPCs, well, that just means that more of their awareness or consciousness is in another realm. So they're here and they're observing and absorbing, but their consciousness is more active in another realm at that time. So at any time, on the NPC thing, that I think any of us can be an NPC and on autopilot, even when, like, if I go and I'm looking for information in order to present, I could be kind of on autopilot here, which really isn't that noticeable, but because my consciousness is somewhere else looking for something else so that I can bring back and present it. So we have avatars in each of these different realms until we leave, we graduate, or we die. And the anomaly of, like, Mandela himself, Nelson Mandela, dying in two different timelines at two different time periods with two completely different lifestyles, one of them him becoming the president after going to jail for being an activist. Those are very extreme. And, to observe that and try and take a higher perspective of what happened there, you can see that's like proof of how quantum that we are. So where was his dominant consciousness? Was it in where he was the activist that went to jail? Or was he the activist that got out of jail that became president because he understood from his perspective and where he was observing from what the people needed to make things better for his own country? Something to think about. And that's where we're all at. This place is quantum. And even if you're in 3D, it's still quantum. It's just we have the choice. And it always is our sovereignty. So if you do get the chance to go to my community page, there's 3 options there to check which one that you're the most interested in, so that I kind of know, sorry about that, what direction to go in for, the what it is to do, what it is that I can share to help others understand, grow, and walk in their sovereignty and their abilities. I don't want it to be, I know we're all equals. This I know. I mean, it's so rooted in my heart, the equality of each of us, that you can't take that out of me. When I look around at other people, that I see the divinity in them. I'll tell you what. That there's one lady that I met when we went camping, and when I looked into her eyes and seen when she's on camera, it just does not do her justice. Her eyes are such a beautiful crystal blue, and you could see the light. The light from within her shines out through her eyes. So, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, it showed right through her beautiful eyes. But on camera, it just doesn't do it justice for her. I don't know why it's doing that. If there's mods in here, if it's somebody sharing information about their channel, or to come and look at what they've got, approve those. I do not have a problem with people sharing their channel information, or because I know it is difficult to even get yourself recognized and noticed, and I know how difficult it is that to even step out and do this. I mean, it's a huge step for people to come out and actually start talking about this stuff. And then you've got, it's hard to get your channel noticed by people. It just is. So when they're sharing it, go ahead and approve those for them, for their channels. They're not putting links, they're just putting their channels. And we know that if you click right next to their name, you don't even have to leave the stream. You can subscribe to them without leaving the stream and not missing anything here. So, I just want to keep this one, short. I'm going to be coming on live more often. Paula Kruger is going to be coming on live. Now, although everybody expresses themselves in different ways, that doesn't mean that I view everything 100% with them. It just means that I have the respect for the way that they're going on their narrow path. And if it resonates with other people or helps them in any way, I want to put that out there for people so that way they can glean from it. You see what I'm saying? We don't always have to agree, but we need to respect each other and love one another and forgive one another and have gratitude that we're all doing this. We're all doing this together. We are in this together. And the grand design of this is not for one person to know it all. It is to bring us into the equality along with our sovereignty, not encroaching our will over the top of somebody else's will, and allowing each of us to walk our narrow path and glean from each other. What resonates, grab it and take it on. You don't have to go through some of these really tough experiences if you're able to take the wisdom that some of these amazing people are sharing. So, yeah. Let's see what you guys have to say. Oh, thank you. I love your energy. Thank you. What is Paul's channel called? Not sure if I'm subbed to him. Paul. I think you're talking to somebody else, because I said Paula Kruger. She'll be coming on, and it is called Paula Kruger is her channel name. So, but she'll be coming on. And Eileen, who is, she comes on quite often. She's on my homepage, and so you should be able to find her real easily. Fifth World is on my homepage, so you should be able to find her real easy. So, and anybody that comes on and shares on the left-hand side of my homepage, their channels and everything are listed there. So I try to make it easy on the viewer to be able to find these people, because there's nothing worse than seeing somebody on somebody's channel and then you don't know how to find them. So I try to make it as easy as possible with listing them in the description box, and they're on my homepage. So if I have a blind moment and forget to list them in my description box, you will find them on my homepage. So yeah, yes. This channel, anybody who is a content creator knows that through the advertisements, we don't make anything. So this channel is completely supported by community contributions. So I've managed to keep I've had to buy a couple of different software packages to try to enhance it for you guys And there's a couple of other software packages I'm looking at that will enhance things even more. So, there's a $2 slot over on Patreon. It's $2 a month, not $2 a day. It's $2 a month. So, and then you will get, I do put some extra things over there for your generosity to try to show you my gratitude and appreciation for your support. And because any content creator, unless I get a gazillion subscribers with a gazillion views, you have to make $100 before they'll even pay you. I've been going for almost 2 years, and I am even with some super chats that I've received. I still have not received a penny from YouTube for any of the video content that I put out. So that should tell you how much we actually make through the advertisement. It's really nothing. Maybe a quarter of a cent, or not even that. I don't know. It's not much. So if you follow people, or there's content creators out there that you're really vibing with and resonating with, and you have just a little bit to help support them, I am sure that they will be very grateful for any support that you lend to them to help enhance it, because everything goes right back into this for you guys. So, yeah. I'm not being a beggar. Everything is voluntary. So don't feel any pressure, and always take care of yourself first. You first. Pay your bills. Take care of you. That's what's most important. It's then if you have anything additional that you could help out with, then okay. But the last thing I want to do is feel guilty that someone didn't pay their electric bill because they made a contribution. Don't lay that at my doorstep, guys. Please, please pay your own bills and take care of yourself first. You found Paula's page? Awesome. Yes, she's just getting started. She normally runs her lives through Facebook. So she's branching out onto YouTube now and sharing the information and abilities that she has. So she's pretty new on the YouTube stage, but not new on the Facebook. And I know a lot of us, I'm not real big about Facebook. I have the room over there, but I'm just really not on Facebook very much. I don't have the time, and Facebook is different. Where here on YouTube, we still own our creative property, and I think once you put it up on Facebook, you kind of give away your creative rights to them to some regard. So always look into that too, content creators, that when you're putting out your precious content, that you still have some authority over it, and that you're not giving it away. Because if you decide that, as happens as we're growing, we could be saying one thing and then all of a sudden have a aha moment, which will change the perspective and what you thought that you knew at that time. Well, if Facebook is then saying, no, we own this, so they're keeping it. But now with YouTube, you could say, okay, I made this, and you can take down that old stale knowledge and put up the new revelation, and you have a little more say so with it. Even though the YouTube is policing us pretty hard, it's still we still have some, as a creator, it's a more of a partnership here, and we still have some say so in what stays out there, when it comes out there. And like they're policing that last premiere that I put out, and that sucker's over an hour long. It took me a long time to gather that information to be able to do that presentation, and for them just to it's like a slap in the face, like, oh, you guys, that's just so wrong. But as soon as they're done doing what they're doing, it'll be out there for you. It will. So if you made it to the premiere, then you got it. If you got a notification, I did it as unlisted. I didn't put it as private. So you should be able to get into it, because I was like, how are people still viewing this when it's not listed? And then I realized I put it as unlisted. So if it's in your drop down, you could still sneak on in there and see it for yourself if you want to, if it's still on your list, because that's the only way I could think of that people are still seeing it. So yeah, but it will go listed as soon as they're done doing whatever they are doing. It's not a copyright. It's not. It's nothing like that. It's the content is not suitable for, you guys to be able to see it. Then there's nothing that's not suitable. I don't try not to put out content that's not suitable. I don't try to gross people out. I don't try to scare people. Fear is the last thing that I want to do. Fear is the first thing I want to get rid of. Because once we get rid of fear, that love comes rushing in, and then we step into the abilities, the gifts, the things that are unlocking within us without fear. And then the growth is just exponential. It's just beyond our understanding. And I know this because I went through that fear because of the culture, that what I was brought up with. We were afraid to touch anything. Don't touch this, don't do this, don't that, I'm going to be demon possessed, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. And what I found out is, and with many people through their testimonials, is they're the most kindest, generous, sweetest people. So that's exactly opposite of what I was taught. So that's why you'll often hear me refer to this place as it's backwards and inverted. So anything they tell you not to do, maybe that's what you should do. Anything they say you should do, maybe that's what you're not supposed to do. Just something to think about. Okay, we've been running about 43 minutes. Oh, there's my 5D. I do have moderators in there, so hold on. Maybe when people review this, my there we go. There we go. There. So maybe the moderators will get the if they rewatch this, all the moderators will get the instructions about the things that I don't want up, or like somebody trying to tear another person down, or trying to force their religious beliefs and things like that onto another person. Things of that nature are the things that we need to moderate. But as for sharing your information about your channel and things like that, no, that's all good. Put that on the table. And then people, if that's the kind of channel you have, people will go over there, and it's not that I'm endorsing anybody that's sharing their information. I think everybody should have the opportunity to go and make up their own mind. And then if you see it, that's how it is, then, then you can leave. That's our free will. That's our sovereignty. Those are our choices. So, okay. Please go to the community page and vote on one of those on those options on what you want to see happen over here. Looks like hands down most people want to learn more about the spiritual side of things, with the second being the gifts and abilities within us. And I don't think any votes so far on sharing testimonials. I think we've heard so many testimonials that the confirmation is already pretty much set for a lot of people. And there are a ton of videos of confirmation testimonials. So anybody that is just walking into this or waking up into this information, there are so many testimonials out there to bring comfort and lose that fear. So hopefully, with the the saturation out there, if they don't get purged, that there is enough of that and we can move on to bigger and better things and start to use our God-given abilities to create a beautiful, wonderful place of equality, love, and patience, and manifestation, where nobody goes hungry, everybody's got a roof over their head if they choose to. Um, some people like to wander, and that's good if that's their choice, but if it's their choice. But if they choose that they would really like to have a roof over their head, well, then that should be able to be something that is accomplished. Things of that nature. So, you guys, I love you. Thank you. There's 17 of you guys. Wow. Thank you very much for a spontaneous live. And I'll get with Eileen. She's always an interesting cat to talk about, to talk to and talk about. Well, okay. It was her eyes that I was talking about earlier. So I was actually talking about her. They're just this crystal blue that is you just really can't you can't understand it till you see them in person for yourself. I mean, it's just that there's so light, they're so beautiful that you can get lost in her eyes. You just looking into her eyes, it's just, they're so beautiful. Anyways, okay, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I love you. And let me try and get out of here and see if everything works just fine on my exit. Oops. No. Oh no! What's going on? Let's try that. Okay. I love you guys. Peace. Always share what you know and listen so we can grow.